take a minute to get everything been going. We're streaming on a couple of platforms, so if you guys don't see the questions that are coming up, if I go back and forth because I'm streaming in a couple different places, we're on both Facebook and YouTube both concurrently. So hopefully we get some good conversations going. I'm gonna make a community tab post to make sure that people see that we are up. And hopefully we get some good conversations today. All right. Hopefully that occurs. I think we got all the mics sorted. All right. Looks like we're getting the first few views in there on the tubes. Hopefully it picks up. The one a couple days ago was good. Yesterday was slow. I'm only doing one live stream a day, guys. I was getting super burned out. They weren't turning into a good use of my time. Yes, I was getting donations and super chats, but the amount can't justify the amount of hours because I was really getting burnt out, spending hours a day. But I feel like, we can come in, do an hour or so most afternoons. I can stream on both platforms, just double dip on both of them, get questions, and still be able to connect with my audience every single day. And I think that's the main thing. When I've said, guys, I'm only going to do one, or, they're going to be a little shorter, and I'm going to focus a lot more on my Facebook. I feel like my people on the YouTube were kind of like, no, are you abandoning us? No, guys, I'm still going to try to do one of these every day. We're going to get in. I don't really have a current event here today. There's a lot going on in the world. You guys can raise your topics and conversations. But if you guys notice, though, my workouts are going really good. I feel like I'm looking leaner. I dropped the carbs down. A bunch of people have commented on that. But, the thing is, I'm having to really watch my training volumes. But I feel like I'm noticing the last couple of days, even though carbs are lower and I've cut out any junk volume at this point, like my arms look bigger, my shoulders, everything will look bigger in the mirror. Like when I wake up the last couple of mornings, I'm kind of like, man, my triceps and stuff look bigger. But it makes sense. All my arm work has gone up, right? I hit a PR, like a straight up PR on like my tricep extensions on Friday. My 10 rep max from earlier this year, I got 20 reps on an isolation movement. I mean, that's substantial, right? It's 110 pounds, right? I got 20 reps. So now I'm going to have to start adding more weight. I got a 45 on each side of that easy bar. I'm going to have to start putting smaller micro plates, and I'm going to push those sets up. I got a bench rep. I got a couple bench rep PRs this week. So in spite of me scaling the carbs back, replacing that with healthy fats and dropping water, we're seeing some strength gains here. So I'm hoping, if I can keep recovery dialed in like I'm doing, kind of keep the GPP at that moderate level, we'll keep making progress. But in the meantime, man, I've been hitting all these current events all on Facebook, big time, different stuff. I've pissed off all the people supporting, the trans stuff and the world's strongest woman. I really upset the Tate Bros this week, man. But it's all good. We're hitting these different topics. But in the meantime, of course, we still do all the fitness stuff. My vlogs are up. I'm putting a lot of effort into shorts lately, but hopefully we get people in the stream. I feel like people aren't watching for them as much. You guys get in here to let me know if you got a notification or not. I did notice my subscribers started trickling up the last couple of days again, though, on YouTube's. So hopefully that's a positive trend there. But I feel like all the shorts are drawing people in. But again, we have no comments so far. So that's the other thing, too. When I was doing tons of these lives, these would fill up faster. But I feel like now all of a sudden they're filling in a little slow. It's almost like people aren't watching for them. They're not expecting them. So again, hopefully it picks up. But again, I can talk about my training. And I'll put up a bunch of client clips tomorrow. So I notice a lot of times on the weekends, if I don't have enough of my own stuff, I'll put up a bunch of client reels. I'll put up 10, 12 shorts tomorrow, a bunch of my clients' lifts, people who are doing good stuff this week. Which for my client, for my coaching, a lot of what I'm doing is shifted. Like even one of the guys from the chats joined recently. He comes in the chats a lot. He just signed on for coaching. More of my demographic is shifted away from really hardcore strength athletes. I do have a couple of competitors still who compete in powerlifting, but I've really shifted gears towards my coaching towards the middle age hybrid athlete type bros, right? Like that's my biggest shift has kind of been my over age 35 dads who compete in something, right? I mean, I have guys competing in a wide variety of just different stuff now. I mean, everything from like kayak sprinting to some guys who do some BJJ and stuff recreationally, but they're still fairly serious about it. Do like a few golf or tennis tournaments. I'm getting more guys who do some of these other more fun type sport and more popular sports than say powerlifting and stuff. I mean, I do have two current powerlifting competitors on the roster, but we are getting more of this other demographic, and I feel like with me getting leaner, keeping my injuries down low, getting strong, leaner, more athletic. It's kind of in my 40s, closing in on almost 50 now. I turned 49 in 2 weeks, by the way. It's kind of shifting the demographic of my coaching, and I think a lot of it too, it's the natural progression of someone who's put out content as long as I have. We've been going hard. We're coming up on, as far as making serious YouTube content, we're coming up on year 14. I've been doing this a little while. This isn't my first channel. I was like, but this channel turned 13 or whatever. Well, this is not my original channel. This is my second fitness channel. So I've been doing this a while, and I think a lot of it, because a lot of my OG clients who were like 28 or 30, when they started watching me way back in the day, they're in their 40s now, right? If you were 30 years old, thank you. I appreciate the super chat, BMW. Thank you so much, brother. It's always good. And that's the very first comment. That'll get the algorithm flowing too. Appreciate it. But I feel like my original audience has aged out. And like even a lot of the younger guys who are like, oh, dude, like a bunch of us saw you as the dad figure. I've had some consultations, right? Where dudes are like, yeah, man, we were all in high school when your channel came out. Me and a bunch of my bros who lifted, you were kind of like the dad type guy we look up to. And I laughed and I'm like, how old are you now? He's like, 30. Right. So people who were following me when my channel first came out, who were in high school, are like they're 30-year-old men now. Right? I mean, I did a consultation. I've done 2 consultations with this guy. God, I've done a lot of them, guys. I've done like 7+ hours of consultations this month. It's been pretty good business. Those $100 an hour calls add up. I've done like 7 of them this month. But I have one guy I've done 2 with. He changed careers and decided to go to medical school. He's just now about to start like his internship or his residency after finishing medical school. He changed careers later, and he's like, yeah, we all followed you as the guy back in the day. Well, now he's about to be an MD who went and did something else, and then as an adult went to medical school. And it's like, so that's been a while, man. And then he's like, well, yeah, now that you mentioned it, I started following you as a teenager, and now I'm had a whole career as an adult, and then decided to become a medical doctor, and now I'm doing consultations with you. It's like, then he realized, he's like, oh yeah, I guess I started following you like 12 years ago. So it's because my original audience, I feel like, is aging. It's kind of shifting the nature of my coaching over the years. Because about 4 years ago, I had a lot of powerlifting clients, and now I'm not marketing to them anymore. I'm almost marketing to the age 35 plus recreational athletes, dudes with careers, with kids who are like, man, I still need to be strong and fast and explosive, but without getting hurt and while still having a career and kids. And, it's cool. Exactly. Greg, it's cool. Right. Gregory says he would have gone to medical school if I didn't have to go with a 300+ K in interest and debt for it, right? And Jason Chet Hope Balls, yeah, we're doing good, man. We're doing good. I got my GPP work up. I feel like I'm looking leaner. I'm looking bigger. Like I can say since I've scaled my volume back and I quit saying, oh, I need to do 20 sets for arms. It's like, let's do 2 or 3 sets for arms a week and just let the big movements handle it and just take those sets really, really, really hard, progress on them. Quit chasing a pump. Just do all out everything I have sets with just one set to finish my arms. I feel like my arms are getting bigger in the mirror. It's not just sitting here. Like I've noticed it the last couple of days in the mirror. I was like looking when I woke up. I'm like, are my triceps bigger? What is going on? Even though I've trimmed the carbs back, I feel like the training is working. And I've known for a while, I don't respond to all that volume, and training my worst body part that way hasn't done very well. All right. I got all the manager specials at Walmart. $6 for a 15-pound turkey. What? Oh, what's going on, Giovanni? What's going on, Simon? Hey, Simon. So now that you're in here, you keep doing the inner city thing. Do you not understand? Like, I broke up with her like 7 years ago. So this isn't even a topic anymore, man. So the girl who said inner city, my ex-girlfriend who said the whole thing, because I never used it. That wasn't me. Like, I dumped her like 7 years ago, dude. She's not even in my life, bro. So really, you should be finding her to say it too, not me, because I wasn't the one who actually said it, right? And there was a whole lot with that. It's because she was a country girl and she heard these other white chicks in the video she was talking about from inside the loop, kind of as she described it. Like they sounded really inner city. So she was talking about, well, yeah, I did the break yourself because I thought that was hilarious. That was my response. Break yourself. Because she didn't mean it like that, but it came across her. It was pretty funny. So I did do the break yourself rule, which is a reference to Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood, which is a classic movie. Right. If you haven't seen it, if you watched all those gangster films from that era, that parody, right? It doesn't even matter who she is anymore, dude. She's my ex-girlfriend, bro. Like we broke up, man. But let's come back over to the YouTube, guys. I've got way more things going on YouTube in the Facebook comments, but feel free to chime in. I'll try to flip back and forth between the platforms. So Greg over here saying, wait, you got a $6 15-pound turkey? Well, you got to hook a brother up. Did we discuss No, I need to investigate the DC shootings a lot more. I don't feel knowledgeable enough on that to make a statement. I will probably do some stuff. I might put some memes up related to it over the next week here on Facebook so that we have a whole new set of topics to kick off. Because my Facebook's been blowing up. Like I've been getting, it's really taken off. I got 2 different cash bonuses to my content monetization this week too. So it's blowing up enough that I'm hitting all those extra bonuses. We're like, if you hit this goal, we'll give you an extra $50. If you hit this, so I've been hitting all of them. It's blowing up. So, but I mean, yeah, my Facebook views of all these things, I'm at 7.3 million views this month, but with most of it being the last 2 weeks. So it's trucking along. Connor, appreciate the super chat, brother. So Connor, my moderator's in here. But yeah, the DC shooting stuff, man. I got to do more investigation. I have a friend who really had a lot to say on it. He's a veteran and a coach himself. He was posting up stuff about it. I may dig in to see what he can tell me about the situation further too and do some digging. I do need to cover it. But Trill says 3 times a week for the arm stuff. Notice continued PRs for the tricep work came from less frequency on the movement. Well, yeah, definitely for me, but less total volume too. 39 cents a pound at the neighborhood market. That's good stuff, man. Just Facebook, I'm making more on Facebook than I am on YouTube. Like right now, my Facebook pays more than YouTube. They just straight up do. but I'm obviously double dipping. So my live streams, we dip in both, but all my videos go to Facebook also. I do way more content there though. But I think for me, it's going to be the less volume defiant. Just keeping those volumes. Yeah, pow, he's out of here. It's the same guy, man. That guy that we don't even vote on that guy. We could pow him. I know, man, the democracy doesn't always get to enact on that one. That's an executive order. But it's the same guy. Like I have to ban him every day. He'll be back. Don't worry, he'll be back with more. He'll make 17 new profiles just to come in here. But let's try not to acknowledge his existence. But yeah, he's out of here with the executive order. So Facebook died out a little bit. But yeah, Giovanni's right. There was the break yourself, which was funny. It was my imitation of Loke Dog from Don't Be a Menace to South Central. I've never been to a rave, actually. I used to party with those sort of girls, but I have never been to a rave. Message, exactly. See, Defiant, you know the movie, man. You know the reference. But no, I've never actually been to a rave. Never been to a rave. How are we looking on the veins today? Let's get a vein rating, guys. This isn't carb because I'm not eating carbs. This is all healthy fats. Eating my poofas and my moofas. I've been cooking in avocado oil all my eggs, and then I've been eating 2 avocados every day. Yep. Red drink. There's no carbs in that. That's just electrolyte water, though. It's sugar-free electrolyte water. Poofas to catch them poofas, right? That's what I'm saying, man. So vein rating, veins. How are we rating them out of 10? What about the forearms today? Somebody asked me if I upped the dose, added special supplements. No, brothers, we all natural TRT. All natural TRT, baby. Only natural prescription from the doctor, y'all. That's how it works. Looking swole, getting swole. I've looked bigger the last few days in the mirror. I can see a difference when I wake up. I look leaner. I look fuller. My arms were fuller. I noticed my delts and my triceps are looking like bigger in the mirror in the morning, and I normally don't notice that. I got my body dysmorphia. Like a lot of times I wake up and think I don't look like I lift, but I'm like, okay, I can see a difference. So we getting slowly but surely chipping away at it all. How long does it take? Depends. Like for SIP, I mean, in theory, endocrinologists will tell you you're still stable at 2 weeks, but I mean about a month. So it takes test SIP about a month to taper out completely. But I mean, that's assuming SIP, which is standard in the United States. If you start talking Nibido, which is like undecyclinate, I mean, you could take up to 12 weeks, right? So it's going to depend on the specific half-lives. Just like anything else that you take, whatever that medical half-life is, tells you a lot. It's going to take several half-lives for something to completely clear your system. But man, yeah, the Facebook is definitely trucking along. I hit another one of those bonuses last night for the month. I had 3 weeks to hit a bonus, and it took me 7 days. And it's got another one in that mix too. I'm hoping that one's going to be tougher to get. We'll see. But I got two of them in the last week. I was at 632 for my after my last shot from 346. Started 2 to 3. 652 is a good robust number. I like to sit at about 800 personally. Like 800 is my sweet spot, man. I really like 800. But 652 is definitely robust. He's talking about his test levels, y'all. Hit that like. How do we have all these comments and we got multiple channel members in here? We got 2 likes. Why y'all not hitting the like button? Come on now. Hit that like button. I'll give you guys a quad shot. There we go. There. Now someone else hit a like and we can see how the quads are doing today. Y'all veiny, y'all. That was all AI, though. I'm not really that big, guys. That's AI running. Artificial intelligence, that's becoming the way, man. That was all my filters, even though we're just using the built-in software here. Photoshop. A week after injection on 100 milligrams, doc up to 200. Nice. How long have you been on the 200, Trill? Like your levels may go up a little higher than the 650 on the 200. Oh, you wait, that was 2 to 3 months ago. Okay. Some dudes will be higher than 650. Yeah, so we'll see what happens in another month. It may drift you up towards 8. May drift you towards 8. So I assume you're feeling pretty good at this point. How would you describe the difference in your quality of life? Go ahead, man. Like we're in the chat. People always ask about this stuff. And I'm very pro TRT, so yeah. So if you want to chat in here about your quality of life, I don't like the space in them. I personally prefer to do everything at once. I just like one shot. I just don't want to deal with it several times a week. Do it all at once, man. I know a lot of guys believe in what you're doing, though. I don't. I'm not one of them, but it is very popular. I just don't feel that it's medically any difference. But I am fully aware of the popularity of that approach, though, and the logic behind it. I just don't think the clinical evidence supports it. And I'm not saying it's harmful in any way. I'm not saying it's a negative. I'm just saying it's unnecessary. I'm saying there's no difference. Okay, so he says confidence, sleep, less anxiety, less worry, better sex, love it. Exactly. So dudes go on TRT and people don't understand that. It's a quality of life difference, man. And I'm talking everything from bedroom, your sex life is better, your sex performance is better, your confidence. Like you said, less anxiety. A lot of guys who have depression and anxiety, once they go on TRT, they're like all of a sudden, oh, wow, my mental health started improving. And I think people forget about that when you're talking about actual TRT. We're not talking about taking a bunch of trend guys. We're talking about actual having a robust, healthy, optimized testosterone level going through your doc. For many guys, literally improves their psychological and mental health. It's like, oh, I didn't need an antidepressant. I just needed my testosterone up. I got my first script in my early 30s. First time I had a doctor write one. I don't think it's about age, Connor, so much as need. Where's your test levels at? And I know this is where people are going to get upset with me. This is where I'm going to upset people. No, I don't think we need to be at the clinically low range to benefit. I think people who are in the low normal range could still benefit. Like if you're 400 or less nanograms per deciliter, again, let me be clear. I am not a medical doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. I am simply saying that even though a lot of doctors want you under 300, okay, before they'll prescribe, like your average endo, a T clinic will do it at a higher level. Your average endocrinologist is going to want you under 3. I'm going to say that any guy who's under about 400 or less will see an improvement in their quality of life if they go on TRT. Now, that is purely my opinion. That is my observation as a coach and someone who looks at this stuff and observes this stuff in the social dynamic. That is not medical advice. So let me be clear on that difference. You should still obviously defer to your medical doctor. God bless him. That'll do it. But keep in mind, a lot of guys don't handle nandrolone very well. Some dudes handle it fine. Some dudes don't. Right? So it really, really depends. Connor, man, did you see all the posts with the all the trans stuff today? Man, they're mad at me. They're all fighting in there. Prior women are still women. All these women are backing me. It's funny, like all these normal women are in there like supporting me and agreeing with me on it. And they're pissing off these other people. They're like, especially like one of them, I'm like, no, you're right. One of the women who's in there, she's like, they're not, they're men. And I wrote, they're just a man. They're a man with a mutilated penile and breast implants, which again, so far the actual women in there have appreciated. Because you guys know I have a big lady following on Facebook. I have thousands and thousands of ladies who follow my Facebook. I have a lot of them. Whereas, and unlike YouTube, it's almost all men. But a lot of them are chiming in there. I got contacted by some female coaches over the last couple of days. Several coaches, like strength coaches who are women, have contacted me, thanking me for the position I've taken on the World's Strongest Woman thing, like and bringing awareness, especially the one I did about the Texas thing. Several of the ladies here who coach are like, thank you for making people aware what's happening, legally, because it looks like the state may press fraud charges against him. Like, because this is no longer just this is a trans right. Well, no, technically under our laws, this may constitute fraud. So sneaking because there was prize money involved and this person is biologically a man, birth certificate is a man in the state of Texas, right? In the state of Texas, that is potentially financial fraud because the person committed fraud with their identity on that with prize money involved in an effort to take prize money. Well, that's kind of a big deal here under our laws. Like that could be fraud. So the state may be pursuing charges against Jamie Booker. That is the current rumor with it. So this may become a really big legal issue. Had to come do it in Texas. You know the line we always say, don't mess with Texas. There's a sign when you enter the state of Texas that says, don't mess with Texas. all the highways when you come in. This dude was warned. He was warned. So Alan says, when someone is low T, is there any way to eventually raise the T levels naturally? Exercise? Alan, it's subject to a lot of debate. If they're really obese, potentially. So if you have low testosterone levels and you're over 30% body fat and sedentary, you may be able to get it back into the normal range. But if you're at a healthy body fat already and you're clinically low, probably not. But obesity can be a big driver. So getting fat literally makes you less of a man, just straight up hormonally. All right. Body fat lowers testosterone production in men. But lose fat, get it. And that would be my advice. As Greg said, the best advice, if you're low, the first thing to try, lose the body fat, get your sleep in order, get your diet in order, and see what happens. Would be your best bet. But if it doesn't, then this is when you go the medical route. Jason, which strongman exercises are similar to barbell exercises? For example, if I want to do 2 exercises, 1 strongman, 1 barbell. I don't know what you're counting as a strongman. Strongman is such a diverse, right? It's such a diverse thing that I don't think it works that way. Like strongmen train all the barbell lifts anyways. They train the lifts. So strongman events, it's going to depend on the event. It's a very eclectic sport. Stevie, I'm not going to say which coaches hit me up, but definitely at least one official who was officiating at the event contacted me about it. Not yet, Tyrone. I have a friend who is a coach and a vet who's been putting up a lot of stuff on it. I'm going to chat with him about it and see what info he has, and I need to dig into it. He was really upset about it because he being a veteran, he was really upset the other day. So I saw him putting up stuff yesterday, some details. So I need to dig into that one a little further. But Connor says a lot of people here just in the UK. Okay, I'm going to be straightforward. I've got like a client who does that there. It was too much hassle going through the doctor there, even the private doctor. He's just like, he's got money. He's got a good income. So I got a client over there in London who's just like, I'm just going to buy pharma gear and amps and just take that because they're giving me the runaround with the doctor there. He's like, and he even has private too, not just NHS. And he's just like, it's just a pain. I'm just going to go buy it from the dude at the gym who sells amps. And that's what he did. It's like he had the money. He's just like, they're giving me a runaround. So I'll just go do it that way. And that's what he did. Whereas in the US, it's a way, 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 way easier to get the prescription. But gear isn't just illegal to possess like it is in the UK. Because I mean, he's not breaking any laws. In your country, you can have gear. You just can't distribute it. Strongman exercises like heavy stones and sandbag yokes, walks. That's just GPP, man. That wouldn't count as any of your lifts though. Like you notice I do a lot of that stuff, right? I have my 3 lifting days and I have my 3 GPP days. What? Jason, just so you know, Alex barely lifted. Are you talking about strap on? He barely deadlifted 500 recent video with vegan gains and got 315 for a double. On what lift? Wait, did he only bench 315 for a double? Bro, this kid better. Oh man, can someone get me a link to that and send it to me on Facebook? Joe, can you guys link it to me somewhere? Wow. So yeah, he can't be over here making a video talking about I haven't made gains in years. I've recently pulled his max deadlift without straps for 6 reps multiple times. I've done it 2 different days. I benched 315 for 5 on Monday, all pause reps. Strap on needs to step his game up. Like, dude, I'm about to turn 49 years old. I'll have to check it out, man. I'm gonna have to check it out. This dude had the audacity. This dude had the audacity to say, I haven't made gains in years. And he's lifting like that. Pause reps. That's right, Trill. They were all pause, baby. All 5 of them. Boom, 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 boom. It was like that because that last one was really hard. Right. That's what she said. Did you ever hurt your back with deadlifts? No, I've never hurt my back on deadlifts. I've had some back inflammation from squats before, but not deadlifts. Vegan Gains got 315 for over 10 on bench, if I remember. When was this, though? That was a long time ago. And 2, weren't they all with elbow sleeves? Weren't they bounce reps with elbow sleeves on? Like those big, thick sleeves. That didn't count on skillet. But you also wrote Vegan Games absolutely dwarfed him because he's the toxic dwarf. All right. Would you ever meet up and squash the beef with Vegan Gains? No, man. Why would I want to hang out with Vegan Gains? I mean, are we doing like gay stuff for OnlyFans together? Are we putting cucumbers? Are we playing hide the pickle or something? So why would I want to hang out with Vegan Gains? The dude would be trying to want me to put stuff in his booty hole. And I got a problem with that. So I'm going to go with no. The dude would be wanting to play hide the pickle. He'd be like, can we bury the hatchet? Wink, wink, bury something. Wink, wink. And I'd be like, no, dude, I'm good, man. Back up off me now, Snowflake. That's also a movie reference. Denzel Washington said that. Back up off me now, Snowflake. Name that movie. I'm going to let you guys try to name the movie. Denzel Washington said that in a movie. It's a fantastic movie, too. So if you guys can guess it, you get brownie points. Didn't Alpha Destiny bench like 4 plates shredded? Something like this, supposedly. So what's up with him when he's training with someone else getting 315 for a double? What's the problem? Yeah, we know, Richards. He's open about his gear use now. Yep. He's open about all of it and the growth. Not sure if you've seen, I've seen clips from the Equalizers, but I haven't seen the actual movies. I've seen some fight scenes and stuff from it, though. He's a good actor, though. He gets kind of typecast, though. All right. Not really, though. I'm saying that, but he's also done. They give him a lot of distinguished roles, and then we had like American Gangster. He wasn't that distinguished. I think no, they look like good movies, honestly, man. I like American Gangster, though, too. Even though I feel like that was a bit of a break in some of his normal typecast roles. But he oftentimes plays this very distinguished good guy, right? And then they had him in American Gangster, just anything but. So now I feel bad for saying he gets kind of typecast because it's not technically true. I'll let bygones be bygones type deal. Yeah, no, I don't want to go hang out with. I have no interest in meeting up and hanging out with them. I don't have anything in common with those guys. Like, I don't think we would get along, to be honest. Like, I think just mindset and mentality difference. They wouldn't mesh in my circles, man. I'm thinking Strap-on might have faked his 405 bench given. I mean, so he's hanging with other people. He barely pulls 500 and then hits 315 for a double. We already caught him with a fake lift once before. Look, guys, I'm just saying. In the words of Denzel Washington, that's $10,000 alpaca. You block that shit, right? That's all I'm saying, man. It's going to be Denzel Washington type of day. He's a good actor, though. He really is, actually. He's a good actor. All right. But for those who didn't catch the movie reference, it was Glory. You guys have seen Glory, right? It's a Civil War movie. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth seeing. Um, Hold on, let's check this. Ed, it's not a new account. I'm doing good. Ed, how are you doing, man? We are doing fantastic. We're having a nice little live stream. We're having a good Q&A. Adam says on Facebook, you still practicing the range of your guns or you're packing some firepower? Yeah, no, dude, I still carry. I'm still a very avid pew enthusiast, my friend. So I usually carry a Glock 19 for my EDC. You know, although I'm kind of done with Glock, I think I'm going to go over to Smith & Wesson after this last fiasco. I switched about 9 years ago. I transitioned from a Smith & Wesson to a Glock fanboy, and now they piss me off. So, there is that. Denzel's a good actor. You still need to watch Bone Tomahawk. Okay, I'll have to check it out. Edward says, halfway decent, can't complain, and my Buckeyes will Michigan. Cool. So your team won. Of course, you guys know that, speaking of testosterone, I tell you guys not to worry about your test levels, but did you guys know, fun fact, that whenever the sports team you're rooting for wins, you see a 24-hour increase in your testosterone production? And if your sports team loses a big game, your testosterone levels go down temporarily. This has actually been studied. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. No, there was actual studies done on this about 15, 20 years ago, and they found that out, that like literally your sports team winning or losing has a temporary effect on your testosterone levels. Yeah, and if you play on that team, yeah, if you compete in something, winning or losing matters. Connor says, I support Manchester United. We lose all the time. Get me all that. I'm telling you, man. I feel bad for my Dallas Cowboys fans here. I got some family who love the Cowboys. I feel bad for them because, I'm just saying. Even though it's in the great Republic of Texas here, we're known for producing amazing high school and college football players. The Dallas Cowboys just, Yeah. Thoughts on decline versus flat barbell press for overall chest mass? They're both really good choices. So it's going to be dependent on technique a little bit, and I'm going to say it's going to depend on your structure. Right. I think part of that question is going to depend on your structure. No, Joe, someone who has really long arms, I think decline is a phenomenal. But if you have really long arms, because it's going to de-emphasize the anterior delts. But someone who has shorter arms, do you see where I'm about to go with that on the range of motion? But mainly that angle involved will de-emphasize the anterior delt to get more pec. And they'll still get a really good range of motion if they have longer arms. Right? Well, you don't want to get pinned, use a spotter on it, It's going to depend on structure, though, Edward. It's not. I don't think it's going to be straightforward on something like that for every person. I think there's going to be individual biomechanics. And this is if we're getting tit for tat of saying, hey, this is going to be the thing. But we could make the case for a weighted dip in that for the same benefit you do get from a decline still comes from a weighted dip, although I can't see why if you get to a certain strength level, they can become higher risk. You know, and I'm a big incline fan too. I'm not currently doing any, but I like incline a lot. You guys have seen me. I've done incline. I've done it. My best work set. Got it last year. I got 10 pause reps at 225 on a 45 degree. I haven't been doing it lately though. How about upright rows versus barbell shoulder press? The emphasis is going to be different, Edward. Right? It's going to be a different emphasis, and I think it's going to come down to the style of shoulder press. I think a normal front shoulder press is still going to be a little more anterior dominant, and the upright row is going to have a little more potential for other parts. But let's say behind the back. So if you can do it behind the neck, right? Okay, now we're dealing with a different animal. Not everyone has the shoulder mobility to safely do it behind the neck. But if you can safely perform a behind the neck press, I think it is a top tier shoulder developer. Again, if we look at the biomechanics, but I think it's going to be very dependent on your personal shoulder health and mobility. Okay. So I throw that caveat in there. If you can do them pain-free, if you have the mobility to do them with no pain, it's a phenomenal exercise. And it will work the entire deltoid and the upper trap, right? I don't have the shoulder mobility to do them anymore. I used to do behind the neck push presses on camera, but I can't do that anymore, unfortunately. Unless I can get that shoulder health back where I want it. I'm working on it slowly. I'd love to be able to do a behind the neck press again. I used to love to clean them up and just clean it and then press it and then do behind the neck push presses. I used to do them. I've got old footage of me doing them. I used to love doing that. It's just that's a very manly exercise. To clean it up off the floor and do push presses behind the neck is just saying. It's definitely an exercise of testicular fortitude. Greg, over here on Facebook, hey, bud, I added in lobster tails to the diet, only 1 gram of fat per 200 grams of protein. It's not bad. I can't do it, though. I have a shellfish allergy and seafood allergy. I've never had lobster. The 2 times I've eaten seafood, I had to go to the emergency room in my childhood. So adrenaline shot, pump your stomach, all that fun stuff. So I can't eat it. So I've never actually had lobster. Never personally had it. So we're getting a lot of Facebook because my Facebook algo has been picking up. We're actually getting people in the live streams in there today, not just YouTube. So that's good stuff, man. Yeah, no, Adam, I'm still an avid shooter. He asked in there earlier. So I've done some competitive shooting and stuff too. I may get back into some of that. But I grew up in that environment. I grew up in a competitive shooting environment. So my grandfather was on the Navy shooting team back in the day. I'd be scared. I do have to watch for that, Greg. So I have to be careful of seafood cross-contamination in restaurants. It's actually a concern. So Connor said, my wrist flare up easily on dumbbell work, so I stick to barbells for shoulder and bench pressing. Any tips to reduce the wrist inflammation? For your dumbbell pressing, you're going to have to stack the wrist just like with a barbell. You're going to have to learn to squeeze it harder so that you don't get cocked back. And you may want to even consider, if you need to, wrist wraps can still be used for heavy dumbbell presses. If you need to, it's an option. But just like when we're doing barbell pressing, you're going to have to get it stacked a little better and squeeze the hell out of it. The harder you squeeze the dumbbells, the less stress it's going to have on the wrists. Yep, I use wrist reps going through tendonitis. I mean, I've been using them lately, but I did a 350 bench without them earlier this year. So I did that 350 without a belt or wrist straps earlier this year. But my recent that 315 for 5 the other day, I was wrist strapped up. Mainly, it's just easier. I don't really get wrist inflammation, but it's just easier on them in general. I might use wrist straps if the adjustment to form doesn't work. Yeah, totally fair, dude. Why does CrossFit champion Rich Froning Jr. have a more aesthetic physique than Dr. Mike, despite never having trained for aesthetics, only performance? While the latter, better genetics for it, doesn't use a bunch of insulin that destroys his aesthetics, right? Right. I mean, it's the heavy drug abuse destroys aesthetics at a certain point for these guys. I'm a wimp. I don't go very heavy. I got 225 for 15. I've got you beat. Is that on your bench? I got 225 for 19 over a week ago. I'm at 19 right now. Yeah, buddy. You got to catch me, Edward. You outweigh me by 10 pounds. I'm walking around 210 at the moment. But 15 is not a bad run. Only problem, man, when you bench like that is the chest burn. Feels like somebody took a blowtorch to your pecs. That's what I feel like when I do those really high reps with the 225 like that. You start getting the last few reps, man, and it's just like you don't know if you got more because your chest is burning so bad. You don't know, am I cramping or am I hitting failure? It's like it's kind of hard to distinguish between the two, you know. It can be difficult. But yeah, I've got 19. I want to eventually get that to 20. But I've been doing my back off work lighter. So I did like this week I've been doing like 315 for a top, and then I do 275 for back off. Jason, my goal by the end of this year is to run 10 miles 4 times a week while being able to squat 315 for 20. Dude, that's some serious athletic goals, Joe. That's good stuff, man. 315 for 20 is solid. I might work towards something like that later myself, actually, too, for fun. All right. Goals like that are just kind of fun little, things to shoot for, those rep goals. Can I bench 225 or 20? Can I squat 315? I've done 315 for 20 before, though. It's just been a really, 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 really long time. Of course, I've done on camera, I've done 300 for 20 before. I've done 300 for 20 for work sets with a cambered bar, though. Like I've done that on camera on the channel. Yeah, I did it at 225 for 49. 49 reps is crazy. No, Adam, my dad slapped me when I told him I was thinking of joining the Army. He slapped me in the face. My dad was in the Army in Vietnam. So when that topic came up, I got hit in the mouth. Like straight up hit in the mouth. And I believe his words were, "Why would you do something that stupid?" And he hit me in the mouth. So that was pretty much the end of that conversation. And his words were, my son will not go fight and die. You're my only son. Nope. But he hit me in the mouth. So that resolved that. Yeah, I was definitely heavier when I did that. So, yeah, Adam, that pretty much resolved it. That ended it, because even my mom was like, she brought it up. Well, they're paying for his college and everything. My dad like blew a gasket. Like, nope. I was talking about my dad on that one because he asked me, did I ever consider joining the military? I'm like, yeah, when I was in high school, I brought it up to my dad because I went and talked to the recruiter. And I went and talked to my dad about it. He hit me in the mouth. Like, so how about the flat guillotine bench press incline for size? I don't like the guillotine in general. Well, on an incline, well, no, I'm not going to. I'll do a guillotine on an incline sometimes. On a flat bench, no, I think it's too hard on the shoulders. Matt says, "What's up, Coach? I know farmers carries are a conditioning tool, but are they real hypertrophy?" Subject to debate. All right. We could argue how much hypertrophy. I think it will give some. I think all GPP has some hypertrophic potential. Trill, I guess that's subject to a big debate. I don't know what the answer is to that for recruiters coming to the schools without parents' permission. But then again, it's public school, and if government's funding it, and the military wants to come in to talk, I don't think it's unreasonable. Hold on, we got to get it rebooted. Let me know when you guys can see me. Let me know you can see me. The stream crashed. I had to reload it. No, I'm back in. Peppermint says he can see me. Okay, I had to reload it. So the stream crashed. No, when they had me, I went and did a sample app, and because of the score, they were not talking about that at all. So I went to the recruiter, and then my dad shut that down. No, they were talking about analyst type stuff. But that didn't go through because my dad was not cool with it at all. So October 20th, I weighed 226. Now you're down to 211, 30 pounds or so to go. Feel so much healthier cutting. Yeah, there you go, man. Yeah, it's good. We're back. We're definitely back. No, special forces have certain aptitudes they're looking for. You don't just get in there just because you want to. If you saw all my Facebook stuff when my cousin passed, we were really close. He was 20 years in, and he died a month before his 20-year retirement. And he was so calm. He had working for SOCOM at the time and had been a ranger. So I have a pretty good idea. We were really, really, really close. That was noted on the Facebook with a bunch of my family. He and I were super close. I have a really good idea of what they're looking for based on that and him and his friends. And yeah, I don't know I would have made the cut for something like that. You're back. Joseph, I would like to see you eventually work up. Yeah, my sample ASVAB was over 90. So I took their sample one and I got a 99 on the sample one. And so they were like trying to talk to me about like at some sort of analyst job. Well, I already know what my IQ is, so I'm not going to go into what it is. I've had a Stanford, but yeah, I'm over 130. Why does regular cardio and conditioning work give you more energy during the day if you're not exercising? Because again, it's going to improve a lot of stuff. Because you're going to have better blood flow, better recovery. Just being in better shape is going to give you more energy. But a lot of it has to do with the difference in cellular condition, your heart and lung capacity. Right. No, I have no interest in going and doing any of that. What's up, Ryan? How you doing? Ryan's a client. I'll get you your sheet tomorrow. We're gonna make some adjustments. So I think Ryan's wanting to work some overhead pressing in, so we're gonna do that. Connor says, I tallied to join the Air Force. As an officer once and got in late stage, we got declared medically unfit despite the medical problems from being like a toddler. Yeah, they're going to look at your medical history for stuff, man. They're going to look at medical history for sure. All right. Those things are going to be factored in. So we've hit the hour, guys. It might be about time to wind all this down. So give you guys an hour Q&A today on both platforms. We've been streaming on Facebook and the tubes. But I think I did a consultation today too. I think it's about time to wind it down though. I love you guys. Let me give you guys a bicep shot before we go. Oh, bye, Cepheus. And we're out of here. So I'm going to wind down the Facebook. And we're going to wind down the YouTube. Love you guys. Appreciate the super chats today. And we're out.